Dr. Char, and today we are going to be on Scratch, because this is something new I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be doing basically teachings of Scratch and how to do it. So, up here are all sorts of buttons, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the account and probably create an account. Once you've done that, so pause the video and do that. Once you've done that, now you can watch the rest of this. So if you click on Scratch, it brings you to this home page. This is what's happening. This is the news, and these are all featured projects and new projects, and then there's projects by Scratchers I'm following. So there's all sorts of things, and I'm gonna show you some things which you can do. So you can make pretty much anything you want. So one of the games which I've been working on recently is a game like this, and this involves a lot of code. You're probably going to be learning all of this, but it's going to take a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. So to start your game, you're going to click the green flag. And then if you go, once you've shared your game, you can go to the project page and it'll have instructions. So if you want to check me out, by the way, my username is Minerman2000. Okay, so I'm going to click the start button and click this button right here, and I coded it to take me through the game. And I'm going to pick the archer. So now I all of a sudden have a fun game that I can play with my friends, which I program myself. Yeah, so that's basically that. But the question is, so let's go through the rest of these buttons up here. Create. This puts us into an editor. Let's go back to the home page. Explore is basically the same thing as this. Yeah. Then discuss is like discussion pages. About and help, but we're not going to really go into much. We're going to start with is create. So I'm going to teach you the basics of creating a Scratch game. So basically, when this button is like what you need to start your script. And down here are your characters, and here is your stage. So right now, if I moved them over here and said, when this is clicked, so basically on start, go to where you are now, and forever, which means do it infinitely, spin around in circles. And if I told him to do that, then he would. But what happens if I do this? Now he's in a different place. Since I told him to go to, he's going right back there. So now, there's always the dilemmas of how many sprites to do. What we're probably going to be making is a lot of stuff, but for this game we're going to be using this character and this character. So I'm just going to call them 1 and 2. So you're going to want to basically take out all code of this. So you're going to want to put a when this is clicked, go to where you want. Okay, first of all, where do you want them to point when it starts? I want him to point forward. Where do you want him to be when it starts? I want him to be in this bottom corner. We're going to start off by making a maze. Racing game. So you're going to be against someone. Want him to start off there. Okay, then I'm going to tell him to go there. Also, I want him to be smaller. His size, I want it to shrink. Okay, let's make it 20% size. So now when I click go, he's in this corner, and I might actually move him a little further into the corner. I'm going to pause the video for a second because I'm being called. A few minor changes. So now he's tiny. So what if I put him right here? Since I told him to go there on start, he's going to go there. So basically, I'm going to do the exact same thing for my character 2. And by doing that, I'm just going to drag this into him. Now he didn't get that, so I'm going to need to do it again. Now he did. So now they are both going to start at the same place. Since it's a maze game, I need to be able to make them move. Now this is where all these different events happen. So I'm going to show you all of these. So these are all events. So they are what will start a brick of code. Okay. So I'm just going to drag them all out. So these are all what will start the code. When the green flag is clicked, when a key is clicked, like space, when the sprite which this is in is clicked, when the backdrop changes, which is your stage, when the background, and when how loud something gets. And also, you can broadcast. And then when somebody else receives it, but that's something for another episode. Today, we're going to be focusing on these two. The on start, and basically, I call this one the best for movement. So I'm going to need a lot of these. Okay, so I have about 750 minutes left. So when up arrow is clicked, I want him to change the direction he's pointing in. I want him to point up. And then I want him to move forwards. And then if down arrow is clicked, I want him to move down. And I want him to take a few steps. And that's just going to go for all of the characters. Right will be 90. And left will be -90. Now, it's helpful because in this block, the point in direction, it actually says right, left, up, and down. But that's not your only options. You can put in anything you want by simply clicking on the number and changing it. So, then left is -90, move 10 steps. So now, I'm just going to use my distributing method to bring all of these other blocks of code into ScratchCat, or Character 1, but I need to change them to different things, because otherwise they'll stay on top of each other. So, what am I going to change them to? The WASD keys. W is up, S is down, D is right, and A is left. So now when I click this, also this button makes it bigger or smaller. Now when I click this, you can see my characters clearly. One of the buttons isn't working. Yeah, that one isn't. It should be D. So that's a simple form of playtesting. So now, won't censor both. And now, it could be erased to wherever I want it to go. But right now they have free range of where they want to go. That will change probably in the next episode. It's hard to control two things. So now, but when I click on start, because of this, it's going to go straight back there. So basically, what I now need to do is to create a sprite of where I want them to get to. So, this is basic. No, let's do a few more basics before we get there. So that will probably be in the next episode. Another thing is, what if, let's say, when key D is, let's go to control. So events are all dark orangey almost. These are all yellow. So this one makes it wait for a certain amount of seconds. This one makes it whatever is in that repeat. This one makes whatever is in that go on forever. And this one makes whatever is in this. So this one's an interesting one. This one's an interesting one. And this one's an interesting one. These are the main ones that we're probably going to be using while doing this. Because there are blocks like this where they've got pointy edges and they go in there. So if, let's say, if touching, this is in Sprite 1, Gobo, go to where you are now. So now, but now, there's a problem. Because if I drag that in here, that will make it the second that start is clicked, if touching Gobo, go back. But what if I want this to last forever? Then I'll need the forever block and put that around it. So now if I put this, now he can't move unless Gobo moves out of his way. So that can make for an interesting game mechanic, and it will send it back to the start if they meet. But I could put this into Gobo, who is my character 2, and then change this to Sprite 1. So now they can't move because they're constantly touching each other. So I'm going to have to get rid of those lines of code. Now, the wait until, I could basically put a blockade. So this is to change the color effect. So this is going to change the color effect. But what if I want him to wait until key space is pressed? Or what if I want, and then what if I want this to repeat until key space is pressed again? So now, if I go as the cat and I press space, quick, did I do that right? Yeah, that should work. Oh, yeah. Space. Repeat, wait until, oh, I might need to add a forever on here. Okay. Wait until key space is pressed. Forever. Repeat until key space is pressed. So now if I want him to stop flashing space, I just need to take out a wait until. So if you hold down space, he's going to stay normal. If not, he's going to keep on flashing. So that's the repeat until. And I'm going to close it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys.